Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming to watch this video. Today I'm going to show you how to make these homemade Skittle lollipops. One of the first things you're going to need to make your homemade lollipops is a mold to make the lollipop shape. So here I have a mold that's going to create the ball shape, and this is actually from a ball making set that I had purchased from our science center, and I just had it laying around my house. So I thought, hey, let's try to make some lollipops out of Skittles. And then I went and bought some lollipop sticks. And of course, you're going to need some Skittles. Start right away with these delicious pink Skittles that are from the tropical bag of Skittles, and so that is our strawberry star fruit and one of my favorites. You guys, most importantly for your mold is to spray it with oil because the candy will stick. So this is key, you guys. Now with Skittles, this mold even has little holes so that whatever you're making comes off easily, but I know the Skittles aren't going to drip through that. So you want to make sure that you pick something that, you know, doesn't have big holes in it, but you know that will work for Skittles. So I just melted my Skittles. Now I used 20 for this one just to see how many I needed. I melted them, but you don't want them liquidy, and you'll notice that the inside obviously melts at a different rate than the outside, but it doesn't have to be completely melted. As I go through each one, I sort of experiment with the time to see sort of what I can do. This one was 20 Skittles, and I believe I microwaved it for about 25 seconds, and we're gonna put it in, and then we're gonna crush it in there and see how it goes. So when you're doing this, just remember that this candy is hot, so it could potentially burn your fingers. So you always want to make sure that if you require parental assistance, you have that. And the candy does cool down quite quickly, actually, depending on what candy you use. I've noticed with different candies, cools off or, you know, whatever at different rates. So this isn't too bad by this point, and I'm just going to put my two halves together, and I just crushed it so that all the shells crushed in there. And then I'm just going to take a peek. You can see what it looks like there. It looks pretty good. I'm just going to take a peek to see what it looks like before I put it in the freezer. I'm happy so far with how it looks, and depending on what mold you had, you want to try to make sure that you squeeze all the candy in there so that when you take off the mold, there's not any sharp edges. Once I'm happy with how it looks and I think that it's smooth enough, I'm going to put it in the fridge or freezer for a good amount of time just to make sure that it is hard. Moving on to red, this is our plain old strawberry from our original Skittles bag, and going through the same steps, so oiling our mold, melting the Skittles for about 25 seconds, and in this case I used 21 Skittles to see what would happen. And I think after going through all my colors, I think the perfect number is 20 Skittles, and I did slowly decrease the time that I microwaved it just to experiment, because the Skittles really don't take a lot of time to melt, and you can crush them super easy, and that way you don't run the risk of burning your fingers if it is too hot. So go ahead, have fun, watch the rest of these lollipops. I'm very happy with how they turned out, and at the end of the video I show you how you can wrap it up to make it a party gift or, you know, whatever you want to do with it. Okay, so here I'm just checking my lollipop before I put it in the freezer. So this one was 21 Skittles, which I thought was just one Skittle too many. So I'm just sort of molding it. And you guys, in a perfect world, you wouldn't be putting your fingers all over your lollipop. So just use the 20 Skittles and hopefully it should work out.